Well, we are here at the NDTV World Summit, and I'm here to talk about wildlife conservation efforts here in our country with Mr. Vivek Menon, who has made history at this point in time. He has been elected as the first ever Asian, to chair the IUCN, which is essentially the International Union of Conservation of Nature's the Species Survival Commission. So it is essentially working towards species revival. There has been several endangered species globally. Sir, if you could tell us a little bit more about, the threat that these endangered species are facing, and what are the species that we're looking at right now?
Well, first, it's been a fantastic few days. I've just landed back into India after being elected. As you say, I'm the first Asian. Well, I'm the first person from outside Europe or America, so it's now part of the world. It's wonderful. It's a heritage institution from 1949 with many luminaries like Sir Peter Scott and others who have chaired this in the past. When you talk about species, first thing you have to understand is that we're talking about at least 1.5, 1.6 million known species, with maybe 8 million species in the world, most of which is unknown, undocumented, right? So we're talking everything from single-celled amoeba or soil biota, all the way up to elephants and tigers. So it's not just wildlife as people know it. It's all life on Earth. The barometer of life is very, very important. So the SSC is 15,000 scientists of all sorts from across the world who specialize in one or more of these things, arranged into 200 plus specialist groups and many task forces, all specializing on how to save nature, how to save these wonderful taxa that are in a way representative of life on Earth itself.
So you are representing India, which is now the voice of Global South. What do you think, what kind of conservation efforts model from India that can be adapted in the Western society?
Yeah, so that is the interesting thing that I bring to this role, I suppose, which is how can we do conservation with an Eastern mindset? We are here at the summit which is showcasing India, which is showcasing Bharat. So what is about India or Bharat for species conservation or biodiversity conservation? Well, nature has been absolutely the bedrock of philosophy, thought, of the Vedas, of everything that India stands for. For many years, people know me as an elephant conservationist. When I talk about elephant conservation, I tell people that, Arthashastra, written 2,000 years ago, actually tells the king where to protect elephants, describes the forest, draws lines around it, and Chanakya or Kautilya or whoever wrote the Arthashastra tells the king that, O emperor, to save the elephant, which is important to protect your kingdom, these are Gajavanas, and you protect it. Now, that's 2,500 years ago. And people around the world think Yellowstone in America is the first national park. But this was a protected area, Gajavanas, 2,500. So India has had a very long history of protecting species.
And at this point in time, how do you think we can use technology better? Because we are going through very disturbing times, be it biodiversity loss and so much of industrialization, urbanization. It is a difficult time to actually, spare a thought for the wildlife, for the nature that is around us. What do you think, what ways can be incorporate technology, technological intervention when it comes to conservation?
Many ways, and that definitely will be one of my pushes. We saw in a summit recently where Google said that they have, got the human genome done in a few years rather than in decades that people are waiting for. We need to do this for the red listing of all our species. As I said, there's only a fraction of species that we have assessed, and if we sit and manually do this, it's going to take decades to reach the several million we need to reach. So we need AI to really speeden up that process. That's one way. We've been using technology like drones and other things to fight poachers, to fight forest fires, to protect our forests. Many more such imaging techniques can be very useful. There are now technologies by which you can assess what's in a place, a forest or a mountain, by just leaving microphones and recording sound. So the audio of insects chirping, you can know which insect it is. You can actually differentiate the species without actually going and looking for them and catching them and looking under a microscope. There's ability to now do this through sound. There's ability of doing eDNA. So there are so many technologies that are absolutely cutting edge that we must use to save species because of struggle against time. So we need technology to help us cut that time and get us on top of the curve, so to speak.
So my last question, you're also the co-founder of Wildlife Trust of India and someone who has worked extensively for the conservation of elephants in our country, and the numbers are dwindling at this point, although efforts have been amped up, but the numbers are dwindling. So if you have to tell us any one animal that is, it is at threat at this point, and what measures can be taken to sort of revive them?
Well, whether it's elephant or tiger or rhino, for example, these are three big Indian species that we look at. There are many cases which we should be very proud of. The rhino is one of them, the lion is one of them, the crocodiles are one of them. We've brought them back. Recently, vultures, which almost went, we managed to claw them back. So lots of success stories. Now, at times, some populations may go up or down. Now, have elephants declined or not? I do not want to get into that debate because two different techniques have been used, and one does not know whether those numbers are actually comparable. But overall, if you look at it, India has 65%, at least maybe 70% of the Asian elephants in the world. So even if you're saying Indian numbers are lesser, we are doing much better than most countries. Other than India, Sri Lanka and Thailand, no other Asian country is showing an elephant number which is sort of stable, right? Others are dipping sharply. Tigers, we have got 75% of the tigers in the world. Asian lions, we've got 100%. Only in India are the Asian lions there. The rhino, we've got 85%. So it's overall, we're not doing badly. The good thing about India is we find declines or we find the threats very quickly. The threats are only three, right? It's poaching, which could be a threat. It's human-animal conflict, which is today much bigger. It's not really poaching. It's because animals are coming into human areas or people are going into animal areas, and both are equally prevalent, that there is hostility among the human population. And the third is habitat loss. And habitat is really going at a rapid pace. So India, we've got 1/3 of the world's poor. There's a problem. We need 6.5% economic growth. That's also a national priority. How do we save our animals in the middle of all of this? That is a paradigm that one is trying to crack here.
Right. And also, so if you had to ask one question to our leaders when it comes to, conservation efforts in our country, what would that question be?
The question is, why are we not using India's nature as a soft power diplomacy tool to show the world what can be done? This is actually wonderful nature we have here, and this can be used as an example for the whole world to make India shine in a different way.
That's a very compelling question that I will think about personally. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to NDTV. With camera person Ritvik, this is Shreya Ghosh for NDTV.